Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my second Creepy Diaries video for you guys, and this was titled Three Scary True Pizza Delivery Driver Horror Stories. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
This story happened just last month. My name is Mike, and I live in a quiet neighborhood.
Okay.
It was a Saturday night, and I was home alone since my roommate, John, had gone out of town for the weekend. I decided to treat myself to a movie night, so I ordered a pizza from our usual place. It was around 8 p.m. when I placed the order online. The estimated delivery time was about 30 minutes. I settled on the couch, scrolling through my phone, waiting for the doorbell to ring. 20 minutes later, I heard a faint knock on the door. I thought it was a bit early, but maybe they were ahead of schedule. I walked over and opened the door, expecting to see the delivery driver with my pizza. Instead, there was a man standing there with a blank expression. He wore a pizza delivery uniform, but something about him seemed off. His uniform was slightly dirty, and he had no name tag. "Hi, is this for Mike?" he asked, his voice low and monotonous. "Yes, that's me." "Where's the pizza?" I asked, looking for the telltale pizza bag. "Oh, it's in the car. I just need you to sign this first," he said, handing me a small clipboard with a blank piece of paper attached.
Hold on. No, that's the first time I ever heard some pizza delivery guy asking somebody to sign a piece of paper for a pizza. I mean, come on. Now, I understand if it was like you paid with a credit card over the app, then you might need to sign something, but if you was planning on paying cash, why would you need to sign something? I wouldn't do it, dude, if you're one of them people that plan on taking your signature and placing it on other things to get you involved in some illegal stuff. You never know. I'm just guessing right now. I wouldn't sign it. That's a red flag for me.
That's strange, I thought. Why wouldn't he just bring the pizza with him? "Can't you bring the pizza first?" "I'll sign for it then," I suggested, feeling uneasy. "No, you need to sign this first," he insisted, a bit more forcefully. Something wasn't right. "You know what? I'll call the pizzeria to confirm," I said, starting to close the door. Suddenly, he put his foot in the door, stopping me from closing it. My heart began to race. "There's no need for that. Just sign the paper," he demanded. What is going on? I thought, panicking. Why is he acting like this? I managed to push the door shut and locked it, backing away quickly. I grabbed my phone and called the pizzeria. "Hi, I just placed an order for delivery, but something strange is going on. Did you send a driver already?" The person on the other end sounded confused. "We haven't sent anyone yet. Your order is still being prepared. Should be out in about 10 minutes. My blood ran cold. Who was that guy at my door then? I hung up and immediately called the police, explaining the situation. They assured me they would send someone over to check things out. In the meantime, I double-checked all the locks and turned off the lights in the house, hoping to stay out of sight. About 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang again. My heart jumped, but I cautiously peeked through the window. It was a different man, holding a pizza bag and wearing the official uniform of the pizzeria. Relieved but still on edge, I opened the door. "Hi, Mike. Here's your pizza." "Sorry for the delay," the driver said with a friendly smile. "Did you see anyone else around here? Another guy in a delivery uniform?" I asked, my voice shaking. He looked puzzled. "No, I didn't see anyone. Everything okay?" I nodded, taking the pizza and thanking him. As he left, I could see the flashing lights of a police car arriving. I felt a bit safer, but still deeply disturbed by the encounter. The police searched the area and found no sign of the imposter. They took my statement and promised to patrol the neighborhood more frequently. That night, I couldn't focus on the movie. Every small noise made me jump, and I kept replaying the encounter in my head.
Hey, I'll be jumping too, because I'll be thinking that guy probably came back to break in and force me to sign something. But yeah, that is just strange. No pizza delivery guy is going to tell you to sign something just to get a pizza. But hopefully the police patrol the area and they might be able to find him and get him so he wouldn't be doing this no more. But I don't know what's going to happen if they do find him or not. But that is just really creepy.
What if I'd signed that paper? What did he want? The next day, I called John and told him everything. He suggested installing a security camera, and I agreed. We've since beefed up our home security, but the memory of that night still haunts me. Sometimes I still wonder who that man was and what his intentions were. And every time I order pizza now, I make sure to double check before opening the door.
You might have to do that because that other guy might be still in the area. Dang, I wish he said that the cops found him. Because that's just not right. A pizza delivery guy saying, "Oh, I'll get your pizza when you sign this." That ain't right. Alarm bells will be going over my head. But it's kind of strange that he picked that particular house when he actually ordered pizza from the same pizza delivery company. Because he wouldn't be going to regular strangers' houses that did not order pizza just to get them to sign something. It'd be kind of sickening to hear that he had some way of getting people's information from the pizza ordering app and just go to door when people ordered the pizza just so they could sign something. I'm telling you, if he signed that piece of paper, that guy probably used that signature on probably something in the stock market or bonds or some other thing. And if it was illegal, shady stuff, they'll probably blame it on him. But thank God his brain kicked in and said, "Wait a minute, do not sign this piece of paper." And plus, when he said he was going to call the pizzeria and the guy put his foot in front of the door, that was enough to push his foot away from the door and close it. And after he did that, I knew that guy had to run away because he wasn't there when the other guy showed up. But if you gave him a good enough description, he won't be doing this for much longer. They'll probably catch him in the act.
It was the summer after my freshman year of college, and I worked as a pizza delivery driver to save some money. One night, around 10:30 p.m., I got an order for a house I'd never been to before. The drive took me down narrow, winding roads surrounded by thick woods. As I went further, the houses became fewer and farther apart. Finally, my GPS told me I had arrived. I was in front of an old, abandoned-looking house. The windows were boarded up, and the yard was full of tall weeds. Could someone really live here? Maybe they were renovating it? I got out of the car, holding the pizza, and walked to the door. I knocked, but there was no answer. I knocked again, harder this time. Still nothing. Should I leave the pizza here? That didn't seem right. Just then, I heard a faint rustling behind me. I turned around quickly, but saw nothing. "Hello?" I called out, my voice shaky. No answer. I turned back to the house, thinking maybe I should just leave the pizza and go. Then my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. "Bring the pizza to the shed in the back." I looked around and saw a small, run-down shed behind the house. Why would anyone want their pizza delivered to a shed?
Yeah, no, that ain't right. He's just doing that to lure you back there and maybe jump out and take the pizza and murder you. I'll be just running back to my vehicle and calling my boss about this and call the cops because it don't seem like a good idea to go. Man, this guy better be careful and be ready to run if something bad happens.
It felt wrong. I hesitated, my mind racing. Should I go back to the car and call my boss?
Yes.
Would he even believe me? I decided to follow the instructions and walked slowly towards the shed. The air felt colder, and every step made the hair on my neck stand up. When I reached the shed, I saw the door was slightly open. I pushed it gently, and it creaked loudly. Inside, it was dark, except for a small candle flickering in the corner. "Hello?" I said again, my voice barely a whisper. There was no answer. I placed the pizza on an old, dusty table and turned to leave. Just then, I heard a voice from the darkness. "Wait!" I froze. "Who's there?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. A figure stepped into the dim candlelight. It was a man, his clothes dirty and his face hidden in shadows. "Why are you leaving so soon?" he asked, his tone mocking. I have other deliveries," I stammered. I wanted to run, but my legs felt like they were made of lead. "You can't go yet," he said, stepping closer. My heart pounded in my chest. Why was he keeping me here? What did he want? I took a step back. "I really need to go," I insisted, trying to sound braver than I felt. Suddenly, he lunged at me. I turned and ran as fast as I could, not looking back. I reached my car, fumbled with the keys, and finally managed to get in. I locked the doors and drove away, my hands shaking. When I got back to the pizza place, I told my boss what happened. He shrugged it off, saying it was probably just a prank. But I knew it was more than that.
Are you kidding me? It's not a prank, dude. Your employee could have been either kidnapped or murdered by this person, and you think it's a prank. Nobody would be calling for an order of pizza just to lure somebody out there to the back of the shed. That's straight up a criminal offense, dude. Golly. I hate that some places like this have managers or bosses that want to act all ignorant and don't want to take a care about their employees. Because if they went up missing, they probably think, oh, they just quit or got sick or something. But if they see it on the news that their employee was dead, then they would probably take it seriously. That guy is so stupid.
I never took another delivery to that area again. Even now, I can't forget the man's voice and the way he watched me. What would have happened if I hadn't run? I'm glad I never found out.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't find out either, but I guarantee you that if you didn't move quick enough, he probably would have lunged at you, grabbed you, and knocked you out unconscious, and grabbed you, put you in the shed, and probably murder you or something else horrible might have happened. I heard several other pizza delivery horror stories, and you just don't know what these people are willing to do. Either scare the crap out of you by just whitening their eyes and faces, or literally jumping out and beating the crap out of you. You just don't know. But I'm glad he did the right thing and turned around and ran while he could and got back to his pizza place that he works at. But I'm still mad the darn boss thought that it was a prank. If that was the manager that said that, I'd be like trying to contact the boss that owns the place and tell them what the manager said. See if they could get them fired and hire a new guy that's more nicer to the employees, because that's just really disrespectful in my book.
I used to work as a pizza delivery driver a few years ago. One night, I was working a late shift, making a few deliveries. Around 10 o'clock, I got an order for a house on the street I lived on. I was 17 then, living with my parents. I was excited, because I thought I might deliver to a neighbor I knew. When I got to my street, I drove past my house and kept going. The address was further down, but I was confused when I got there. The house was abandoned. It was well known in the neighborhood that no one lived there. I double-checked the address to be sure, and it was correct. All the lights were off in the house, which seemed strange. But I had a job to do, so I got out of my car and walked up the driveway. I rang the doorbell and heard it echo through the empty house. Then, I heard footsteps coming from the side of the house. A man appeared from the side and walked over to me. He said he would take the pizza and that he had the money in the back. I asked him if he lived there. He said yes, without hesitating, but I knew he was lying. I felt really suspicious, but I followed him a bit. He said he and some friends were hanging out in the backyard. As I walked slowly behind him, I felt like something was very wrong. The backyard was dark and full of trees. I didn't hear any noises or see any lights back there. If people were there, I would have heard or seen something. I made it halfway to the backyard, but I had a terrible feeling. I knew I shouldn't go any further. I stopped, turned around, and started running back to my car. When I got to it, I jumped inside and drove away quickly. I went straight back to the pizza place and used my own money to cover the pizza. I finished my shift and went home later. When I got home, I asked my parents if anyone lived in that house. They told me it was still abandoned. I told them what had happened, and we drove by the house together. It was still dark, and we didn't see anyone around. The next day, I couldn't stop thinking about the man in the house. Who was he, and what was he doing there? Why did he lie about living in the abandoned house? I decided to drive by the house again during the day to see if I could find any clues. When I did, the house looked even more run down in the daylight. The yard was overgrown, and there were no signs of anyone living there. I asked a few neighbors about the house. They all confirmed that it had been empty for years. One neighbor mentioned that people sometimes saw strange lights in the house at night, but no one had ever seen anyone go in or out. This made the whole situation even creepier. Over the next few weeks, I kept thinking about that night. I wondered if I should have called the police or told someone else about what happened. I couldn't shake the feeling that something bad was going on in that house. One night, I had a dream about the man. In the dream, he was standing in the backyard, surrounded by shadows. He looked at me and said, "You shouldn't have come here." I woke up in a cold sweat, my heart pounding. I never did find out who the man was or what he was doing at that house. I'm just glad I trusted my instincts and didn't follow him into the backyard. To this day, I still wonder what would have happened if I had gone further. That experience taught me to always trust my gut feelings, especially in situations that seem off.
Okay, here I was thinking that it might have been some crazy old man and some other dudes hiding in the backyard of the place, probably waiting on grabbing him when he walked back there expecting cash for the pizza. But since the neighbors said they seen strange lights in the place, and he has a nightmare of that same dude with shadows moving in the backyard, saying you shouldn't have come there, then something paranormal is afoot right here. But still, I would take it seriously to run back like he did and not continue forward, because if it's an abandoned house, nobody should be there unless it was a homeless squatter guy. But yeah, if somebody tells you to go to the backyard with them just to get the cash, don't follow. Just go back in the car and go. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more Creepy Diaries content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.